Hi there, and welcome to another Drawing Stuff with me, Paul Yateman. Today I am drawing an octopus, starting with pencil, using fine liners, and then getting stuck into some watercolour. So I begin sketching with a 4B pencil, no reason other than that was the first pencil I picked out of the pencil case slash art box supply kit that I have. It sort of does come in handy a bit later when I want to emphasize lines. So basically what I did here was I drew the shape of the head of the octopus, did some eyes, added some lines that would give it a bit of texture later, and did 8 tentacles, all curvy and trying to fit them within the page, which I mostly was successful. You can see I sort of go off the page, and when I say off the page, my little bounding box, which is I think 1/2 centimetre around the edges of the pad. Size wise, it's a little bit smaller than A4 because I'm using half of an A3 pad. So here you can see the thicker lines or the more darker lines due to pressing harder with the 4B, and its tips also worn down because it's a really soft pencil. I'm unhappy with some of the lines, so I'm erasing them and redrawing them. And at this point I was going to leave the drawing like that and then watercolor it, but I decided to add some fine liner. These are some new fine liners I bought off their not the opposite of water soluble, water fast, I guess. I was going to go sort of cosmic horror with this, so lots of detail and lines, but decided to go for the more, when I say more, go for the realistic sort of look, even though this octopus is totally out of my head. So once I've got the lines down, I grab my eraser and I erase. And one thing when I'm doing the lines, I'm not making them exact. I'm sort of adding a bit of wobbliness to give it a sort of a more organic, I guess, appearance. So there we are. That's the fine liner applied. And now I'm going to take a little photo just for reference in case I screw up the drawing. Normally there I would scan that so I have a good quality image which I could print out and then paint over or colour in later, assuming I did watch the thing. Before I added the paint there, I sprayed the paper with water. That just helps when you're applying the paint. If you go overboard, the water will sort of bleed and feather. Oh, sorry, not the water. The paint will bleed and feather. So you got to figure out how much water you need on your watercolor paper, which is a bit of a juggling act because if you don't have enough water, it dries out too fast, and you have too much, then the paint just runs everywhere and you get a horrible mess. And you can see that's happening a little bit on some of the tentacles, where I've just wiped off some excess paint there, because there was some excess water. I'm using a couple of different brushes, the thick one for the main strokes, and then as I'm getting to the finer tentacles, going down for a smaller brush. And to get the different intensities or shades of colour, mostly I was using different amount of water. The colour you see me applying now is a different, for a darker orangey brown, but most of the yellowish colour here is just solely the amount of paint applied due to the amount of water on the paper. So yeah, there we go. There's an octopus. I think that's about my 7th watercolour drawing I've done so far. Here it is after a little bit of post-processing. If you like this video, subscribe, like, share, comment, because YouTube loves that apparently. If you are any good at watercolour, got any tips or suggestions, and how would have you done that painting? See you next time.